Alrighty folks, hope you're doing good. I'm doing pretty good myself. Got a couple new IMSA cars to look at today. This one actually just came in the mail today. And it is the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 EVO2 from 2024 IMSA Daytona Forte Racing. Purple and green. Very cool one. And then I also have this one, the Acura ARX-06 GTP, also from 2024 Daytona. So a couple Daytona cars from 2024, so pretty cool. I'll go ahead and show you guys the past versions that we've gotten for each of these. So each of these did have the each of these castings did have the exclusive IMSA special made OEM ones that Mini GT did. Those are really, really expensive. I will never pay that much for them. But anyways, so there are those. For the Huracan GT3 EVO2, we got the presentation version. I didn't pull all of the Huracans out. The presentation version, and then we got the green Iron Lynx one, and then we got this pink Iron Dames one right here. And this is actually the first of the Huracan GT3s to have tire printing, which is actually pretty huge. There is another one of these on pre-order. It is the Black Dex one. That one I believe should be coming out soon, I would think. So anyways, if you want to get in early on that and place a pre-order on it, I definitely would recommend it. And then for the Acura ARX, the first one we got was this white and pink one. This one is very cool, probably still my favorite, but I thought all these Acuras were actually pretty nice. And then we got the first blue one, which was, I believe, 2023 Daytona. Might have been 2022. No, I think it was 2023. Can't remember. I didn't pull the boxes out. And then also this red one from whatever the same year that this one was. In fact, all three of these might have been the same year. But the red one, these ones had really nice paint. It was like a shiny metallic red and blue on these ones. So they were pretty cool. And now we have another blue one. I don't know if I mentioned, but there's another white one coming out for this casting as well, and I believe that's all that's on pre-order for this one. So yeah, for each of these two castings, the Acura and the Lambo, there's one more coming on pre-order so far. So do with that what you will. Yeah, so I believe I paid $13.73 for this Acura from RC Mart. I believe they are out of stock now. And then I paid $21 and some change for this Lamborghini. I had to grab it from eBay. RC Mart was sold out. For some reason, this Lamborghini was like price gouged. I don't know why. This should have been like a 13 to 15-ish USD dollar model at launch, and I've been seeing these sell for like $25 plus shipping here, which I think is kind of ridiculous, but there's nothing you can really do about it. The sellers are going to price gouge, and it seems like they do it everywhere for certain models, so I don't know. But anyways, we'll take a look at the Acura first. Here it is in all of its glory. Very nice shiny blue. This is Mini GT number 1056. Acura ARX-06 GTP number 10 from 2024 IMSA Daytona 24 hours. The number 10 Konica Minolta. It's a mouthful. Here's all the information on the back. It is licensed by Andretti Wayne Taylor Racing, which is very cool to see that on there. And then, of course, officially licensed by IMSA and Acura. So 3 licenses for this one. I mean, technically 4, but Andretti Wayne Taylor Racing are partners, so it's kind of one and the same thing. I guess you could technically call that 4. But anyways, here is the car. I'm expecting this to be pretty similar to the old version. There are going to be some livery changes. But yeah, overall they did a good job with these. The only downside about these hypercars from Mini GT is that they have a lot of decals and sometimes they look pretty bad. So, but anyways, the tires and wheels on these are very nice, like a gunmetal gray wheel, and then that awesome Michelin printing going almost all the way around the tire, which is very nice looking. Wheels roll very nicely. Of course, these are Mini GTs. And yeah, that blue color is kind of what sells these Acuras for me. I think they look really, really cool. It's, like I said, it's kind of like a bright metallic blue. The only thing that I don't particularly like, and they didn't do it with the past one, is you'll look at this front part that goes across right here. I've got a hair stuck to mine. But this front part that goes across right here, on this new one, it's like a different shade of blue than the rest of it back here. And I don't know why. It looks like they like decaled some of this stuff, like the front lights on, and went over it with like a clear coat or something. And it makes it a different color than the rest of the blue. This older version, it was much more uniform in color. So I don't really know exactly what happened there. Maybe the shinier blue is a little bit more accurate, because I am noticing this circle on the front is also that shinier blue. But then like over the wheel arches and stuff, it's a little bit like different shade. And it actually might be a different shade of blue in general. The new one's on the bottom right here. Not too sure on that. It's always hard to tell how accurate paints are with the 164 compared to the real thing. You can kind of look at the photos, which I will actually put photos up of this one right now. You can kind of look at the photos and see it. I think I picked a nighttime photo for this one, so obviously that's not going to help. But yeah, sometimes it's just a little bit hard to tell. But overall, it does look pretty good, except for I don't really like how this front looks. It looks like they kind of just decaled this front Konica Minolta on and the Acura logo. In fact, that's horrible. That is a decal for sure, because that is way off center. It's supposed to look like that, which I don't think they decaled this one on for the old one. So that's kind of a sign to me that Mini GT is getting a little cheap. Yeah, I don't know. That's not great. It's definitely not great. Hopefully they're not all like that. But I am noticing the headlights are different. Like this silver daytime running light portion, it covers more of the actual lens on this old one right here. It goes farther up the headlight lens. And this one, it kind of stops a little bit lower. It lets you see some of that good LED detail in there, which actually is pretty nice. It's just done in black plastic, that molding behind the lens, but it looks pretty good. Little IMSA badge up in the front. I just love how all these GTP cars look. The GTP cars, the hypercars, and WEC, they all just look so freaking cool. But yeah, so not great decal work there. It's like it's kind of like a rough texture. And then you'll notice that I think on this one it's not as bad because it's mostly just black paint. But a lot of times on these hypercars, they'll run like a graphic all the way down these air channels that go in between the center area and the rear wheel wells, and that whatever graphic they use will all be decaled in right there. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't look too bad on these ones because this one appears to be mostly black, but this old one right here, all that in there, all that gray was a decal, and it just doesn't turn out good. But anyways, other than that, everything on this looks pretty good. The taillight detail is just painted on, which is fair enough because it's very thin, especially on the sides, and then these little the little ones in here, just very small, be very hard to do with actual acrylic, and I think it looks fine with just the red paint. There's very few models that I say that about, but I think on these ones it does look fine. I love the big this big fin that goes back. It's got Konica Minolta and then Acura Type S on it. A little bit of green detailing up at the top right there. It's like a little green plug. I'm assuming that's to represent the hybrid powertrain. And then, of course, the 4 drivers right there on the roof. And overall, it does look pretty good. The HRC logo right here on the side is one difference from the old one. The old one had some different stuff right there. And then I also noticed that the Rolex badges were in a different spot. So it was up here on the old one, and then it's back behind the number box on the new one. Just a couple things I noticed at a glance, but yeah, very cool. Number 10 box right there. Some sponsorships as well. Overall, very cool. The number box right there. And then there's the rear wing. Reshapework.com on top. And then hybrid Bosch on the side with Acura. And I don't know what that one in the middle says. It's done in silver. It's hard to read. Yeah, I don't know what that says. Very cool. There's all kinds of nice little sponsorship logos on it and stuff. So overall, even though the decal work is just never great on these, I'd like to see at least more printing. It is still quite a cool one, and definitely worth picking up if you are super into the IMSA stuff. But anyways, let's move on to this Lamborghini. I will pause here to cut to take up a little less time, and we will just jump straight into it now. So we'll get rid of this plastic here. There's the car. Very high hopes for this one. So the blister artwork is pretty much the same that we've seen for all of these Huracans. It's just on, at least all of the Daytona ones, which I think is the only, I think that's all we've gotten so far. I think the Iron Dames and Iron Link ones were both from Daytona as well. So it's all been this style with the car just on that big, it's not a straightaway. What do you call that big, like, slight turn around that, like, big, I don't know what you call that. I'm sure it has a specific name. I just don't know what it is. But anyways, this is Mini GT number 1062. Lamborghini Huracan GT3 EVO2, number 78, 2024 IMSA Daytona 24 hours, Forte Racing. Here's all the info on the back. Of course, licensed by Lamborghini and IMSA. And yeah, like I said, this is the first Huracan GT3, not just the EVO2 or the EVO1. This is the first Huracan GT3 ever that has received tire printing. So that is a big plus. After my countless times of bitching about it, they have finally listened. And it seems like they're starting to add tire printing pretty much to everything that needs it, which it makes my heart happy. It really does. These cars they just don't look good without tire printing. They look weird and very plain. That is old Sparky behavior. That is not Mini GT behavior. So very, very happy to see these Michelin logos on the tires. I have another hair on this one. Somebody was shedding at the Mini GT factory. Anyways, yeah, this one looks awesome. So its main color scheme is that green and purple, which I think looks really cool. The green is a metallic green, which is kind of surprising. I figured it would be like a matte or a glossy. And then the purple is also a slight metallic as well. So it looks like they kind of... it seems like they did a pretty good job painting this one, and I'm not seeing any major use of decals at all, which is very cool. And then one of my favorite things just about this livery in general is the colors are inverse on each side of the front. So you got green around the headlight on this side with purple surrounding it, and then the opposite on this side with purple and then green surrounding it, which is really cool in my opinion. They got the yellow LED light bar at the front with the little rivets around it. The Lamborghini badge looks really good. This whole front splitter is carbon fiber printed. Just very cool. The two fog lights on either side, again, yellow LEDs with rivets. Just looks really good. Huracan headlights have always looked good for Mini GT. One thing I think they could have maybe tried to do, but it probably would have been too difficult and too expensive, is these front vents should have carbon fiber in them on this one. Like this whole vent, both these vents right here should be all carbon fiber, but I can live without that. I think they so far have done a really good job on this one. But yeah, 78 box right there, all kinds of sponsorship logos, Go Bolt, EV Tech, and then Lamborghini Beverly Hills. It's kind of cool. Squadra Corsa on the windshield banner with the green, because this is just the GTD class. So it's got the green number boxes, the green mirrors, green on the windshield banner, and green on the side of the wing. Yeah, very cool. The big Forte logo right there on the side. There's carbon fiber printing going around the window, which is awesome. Names of the drivers going along right here. Just very cool. There's also carbon on the front wheel vents as well on top right there. So that is awesome. There's more carbon fiber on this back hatch, and there's actually gaps going in between each of those vents, which I think is how they did all of them. But that carbon fiber looks really nice. Rear wing is carbon fiber on top. Oh, it's on bottom as well. I was not expecting that. I figured it would be black on the bottom. That is actually really, really nice. And then the back, this whole back panel where the taillight assemblies are, that goes across, is also carbon fiber. So lots of carbon fiber on this one, which I just love to see. It makes it feel a lot more accurate. So that is very cool. Taillights are pretty nice. Pretty much the standard Huracan taillights we've seen on all of them. But yeah, more green and purple two-tone back here. They actually painted the little that little LED assembly silver on this one, which I think is fine. It looks good. The exhaust pipes are black, which it would have been nice to see those as silver, but with all the other detailing we've gotten on this one, I think that's fine. And then, yeah, two-tone purple and green, and then it comes up to this air vent on top, and then it swaps over again. So I just love how the purple and green is just like inverse throughout the whole thing. It is such a cool livery. And with that, I will put a couple photos up on screen of this one. And as I said earlier, I was surprised to see metallic colors because it's like I said with the Acura, it's very hard to tell looking at photos, but I wouldn't really think that it was a metallic color, but again, it's hard to tell. Pausing here for a sec, I noticed as I was editing and looking at the real photos, they should have used the yellow LED headlights like they did on this Iron Dames one for this Forte Racing one. As you can see in the photo right there, it has the yellow LEDs, which they got right on the light bar and the two fog lights in the bottom corners. So I'm a little confused why they didn't do that. So there is quite a big inaccuracy there. Just thought I'd point that out. So yeah, compared to the real thing, I think it looks really, really nice. I did cheat a little bit. I was looking at it beforehand and then looked at photos. But yeah, this one is really cool. Again, very unfortunate that they're being price gouged like they are. I don't know why that keeps happening. I know Mini DT makes plenty of these models to where they do not need to be price gouged like that and be sold at $25 at launch. It's really annoying. But anyways, yeah, this is... Honestly, I think this is probably the best, as far as detail and accuracy and tire printing and all that stuff goes. I think this is probably the best Huracan GT3 that Mini DT has ever released. Even better than some of the old, well, not the old, but like the most recent Super GT ones. They didn't have tire printing, but they did add carbon fiber on the back, which I thought at the time was a huge improvement. And this just kind of blows it out of the water with like the front splitter around the windows, the wing on both sides. It's just very, very well done. This one is awesome in my opinion. So yeah, I think that's about it. I think I will let you guys go now. Let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you think of the Lamborghini being like $25. I think that's ridiculous. But anyways, any thoughts, questions, comments, let me know down below. As always, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.